sis Athalia. Sis. First, I want to say I absolutely love your name, Athalia. It's such a beautiful name. I wonder what it means. Let me know in your reply to this video. Let me know what Athalia means. Let me know if you researched it. It's such a pretty name. It's such a regal name, Athalia. So you need to be leaning into that, sis. You need to lean into the beauty of your name. Your name gives me queen vibes. Your name, Athalia, gives me princess vibes, gives me royalty vibes, sis. And you need to be leaning into that energy. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's making sense because actually I wanted to pull a card from this deck too for you. Let's just jump right into it, right? The first thing that I want to say, sis, is that a part of your inability to trust is because trust to you is directly connected to finances, money, material, and security. Okay. Trust for you is directly, aligned with security, financial stability, and things of that nature. And what I'm picking up on is that a part of your challenges with trust is because you were provided for, but not from an emotional standpoint. I feel like, see, the first card that came out for you is the 8 of Wands, right? Excuse that mark right there. Kimmy bit that, our daughter, right? The 8 of Wands is the first card that came out for you. Now, in a regular reading that is not pertaining to a relationship, the 8 of Wands symbolizes travel, movement, striking the iron while it's hot. It symbolizes change for the better, right? Things coming in, opportunities coming in your way. And that is still true for you. That is still true for you, with the card coming up. But what I know spiritually, and what was the first thing that I read for this, is that somebody was not emotionally available for you when you were a girl, when you were young. When you were young, someone was always moving around. Maybe you were always moving around, right? Maybe you were always moving around. You never got to just stay still wherever you were, and you weren't able to really build solid connections with people, really build solid relationships with people, right? And so it's like you had almost, in a sense, like an unpredictable childhood. And because it was unpredictable, though you were provided for, it made it kind of scary for you to be emotionally vulnerable. That is what I'm seeing with this card, with the 8 of Wands. So for you, emotional trust is what you're looking for, right? You're looking for emotional safety. You're looking for emotional security, but you keep blocking yourself from actually experiencing that because your mind, right, your essence in your unconscious mind really connects security or connects trust, being able to trust someone with, can they provide? Can they make sure that everything is going to be okay? Can they make sure that you have everything that you need? And so oftentimes in your relationships, you focus on that instance, right? Can this person do this? Can they do that? Do they have everything working out for themselves? And sometimes you cut yourself off from developing a relationship with somebody who can hold sacred space for you. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm seeing in this card, right? That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing when I see that card. In terms for you spiritually, I'm just basing it off of spiritual and intuitive, and what your spirit guides, what your higher self and what your ancestors, the message that they are actually coming through with. Okay. So something I also want to say, sis, is that something that you need to do, you need to travel more when you get the opportunity. Do more travel and keep your mind, keep your heart open, because you may find someone, right? You may find someone that is more in alignment with your being. You may find someone who can provide that safety, that security, and that emotional stability as you travel, right? As you go on vacations, as you visit warm places like Jamaica or St. Thomas and places like that, right? That's what I'm getting. Okay, that's what I'm getting from that, is that you did a lot of moving around, or maybe like your father or mother, somebody that you love, somebody that is your provider was always moving around, and they couldn't really hold that emotional safety, that emotional security for you. And because they didn't do that, but you had what you needed, you had the things that you needed. You had the food on your table and the clothes on your back, but you've attached trust to security. The reason why I know that is because the other card that came out is financial and material changes. And so one of the first things that I want you to know, sis, is that yes, having that security, having that stability is absolutely necessary, but you have to know that you are safe. Okay? You have to know that you are safe. That is what is absolutely necessary right now. But in order for you to create that emotional safety, that emotional security, you have to align within yourself with what it is that you desire. That's what this card also symbolizes. This card also symbolizes alignment, sis. And so you have to ask yourself, what makes you feel trust? What makes you feel trust? What makes you feel trustworthy? What actions must the person display in order for you to trust them? And then whatever you come up with, I'm thirsty, Athalia. Whatever you come up with that a person must display in order for you to trust them, the next thing is for you to become that. Whatever you are needing and desiring from other people, you have to align with it. So for you, sis, you have to become an emotional safe space for yourself. You have to stop fighting how you feel. Here's where the star comes in. You see, she's pouring into the water. She has 1 foot in the water. She has 1 foot on the earth. She has 1 foot, and then she's pouring some water onto the earth. Sis, you must be willing to pour into your more feminine, emotional, intuitive side. So even you saying in your form, I feel super emotional right now, that's okay. You need to be feeling emotional right now, sis. You need to be feeling emotional right now, okay? Because you need to embrace that. You are in a space right now where you are learning to embrace your emotions. That's the star card. She got that foot in the water and she's still pouring into it. You have to understand that just because you feel emotions, it does not mean that you're going to just be taken away and that you're not going to survive all of the emotions that you have. You have to allow yourself to feel your emotions so that you create a space of safety and security within you. And then therefore you will attract that in an outside person. And now you are developing a deeper level of trust. But you got to trust yourself first. You got to trust yourself with you first. And you haven't been trusting yourself. Here's why. You haven't been trusting yourself because, God, there's so much coming up. Let me. First thing, reason why you haven't been trusting yourself is because when you do something that you're not particularly proud of, it can be as simple as dropping something, breaking something. When you do that, you start to speak negatively about yourself in your head. And I need you to pay attention to this, right? You start to say like, damn, I'm always doing something. Fuck, I can't, you do little things like that in your head. Instead of honoring yourself and instead of being gentle with yourself and just knowing, okay? Just knowing that all is well, all is good. And you've lived your life that way as a form of survival, as a form of, here's a card that came out for you, perseverance. As a form of perseverance, maybe because it says, I know I can do whatever I set my mind to. But in terms of your self-talk, You've been hard on yourself because you've always been like, you know what, I got to make sure I'm good. I got to make sure that I have everything that I need. I got to make sure that I'm getting to the bag. I got to make sure that I'm taken care of. And so you're like, First of all, you're like, I don't have time to be feeling no emotions, right? I don't have time to be feeling sad. That's first. And then second, you're like, you're hard on yourself, right? You're hard on yourself because if you are hard on yourself, you'll do better. If you're hard on yourself, you'll be better. If you're hard on yourself, you will improve. In some instances, that is true. But if it gets out of hand, it's just unhealthy, and you have no longer created a space for you to be vulnerable with you, for you to be open with you, and for you to embrace how you're feeling. Another card for you that came out is the obstacles and challenges. And so it's like vulnerability is a real challenge for you. It's a real challenge for you. And it's something for you to you got to jump over. See, it's like this right here is where you are right now, wanting to trust, wanting love, wanting a healthy relationship. This space in between this little bridge here, that's the vulnerability. And then over here is the happy, healthy, loving you. And so you're going to have to take that leap of faith. I'm going to tell you some ways to take it. But you got to do it. And here's the beautiful part. When you take that leap of faith, sis, the things that you desire are going to be given to you, right? You're going to receive more coins, more bags, more abundance, right? More opportunities to manifest more abundance. You're going to receive that, right? The more you take that leap of faith and the more you are gentle with you, kind to you, trusting of yourself, trusting your process, the more you do that, the more things are going to start to work out in your favor. But you got to go for it. You got to go for it, right? You have to know, Athalia, that you are worth the wait. When I shuffled the relationship cards for you, the romance angels, the card that came out for you is worth waiting for. And it says divine timing is at work in your life, worth waiting for. So sis, that just says to me that the work and the process that you have to get into right now, it's in alignment. And then as you do the work, you're going to manifest somebody who is worth your trust, who is worthy of your trust. You're going to manifest, relationships, not just with, a potential intimate partner, but with friends as well, that really resonate with you and that really understand you, at the heart level. Okay, that really understand you at the heart level. But you got to pour into yourself. You got to allow those emotions to flow. You have to allow those emotions to be present with you. The reason why you don't trust this is because you've been taught that you should only trust people who got money. You should only trust people who can take care of themselves. If they can't take care of themselves, if they can't take care of me, they cannot be trusted. Which I understand that. But sis, maintaining that mental frame and holding on to that has blocked you from being able to develop beautiful relationships with people because you're thinking in your mind, okay, they not together, financially. So I can't go there with them. I can't be, why? It's like, you're like, why would I be emotionally vulnerable with this person and they barely are able to put, to handle their business and their responsibilities? And sis, that is understandable. But you really have to create balance. You really, really have to create balance within that because a person's money and the amount of money that they have and their financial security is not the end all be all, right? It's not the end all be all. There are people out there who got hella abundance, who got hella money, but they ain't worth the shit. They can't be trusted at all. And then you have people out there who live very humbly. They may not have the nicest car, they may not have the nicest clothes, but they move from a space of love. They are worthy of trust. They are worthy of those things. And so you have to be able to recognize what that is. And the very first place you got to even ask yourself this question. When your money is funny, are you still worthy of love, and are you still worthy of your own trust? You got to really ask yourself that question, sis. And more than likely, if you are having this internal battle with yourself, that is just going to show you that there's work that needs to be done. But I feel deeply that you're going to say yes. No matter what's happening in your bank account, you are still a trustworthy person. Okay? You are still a trustworthy person because you are honest, you are open, you are just real, right? So you have to know and understand that that is what you are needing inside of you, right? You have to overcome this fear of trust with divine feminine energy, right? The card that came out, another card that came out for you, sis, is the Brother in the Darkness. And it says, overcoming negative energy with divine feminine power. And it just is another validation as to what I was just saying, because divine feminine power is intuitive power. And so, sis, you got to understand, when you're closing yourself off from feeling your emotions, from sitting with them and processing them, when you're closing yourself off from that, sis, you're closing yourself off from being receptive to spirit. You're closing yourself off from being receptive to your higher self and your spirit guides. That is what is actually happening. So you can't even receive the downloads that you need to receive and the messages that you need to receive because you refuse to sit in your emotions. It's damn near like you just kind of, you love to stay even keel. And the problem with always staying even keel and not allowing yourself to feel the polarity is that when you need to feel that joy and that gratitude, you don't allow yourself to get into that level of appreciation that is necessary in order for you to bring in all that you desire, the love that you desire, the abundance that you desire. Okay. And then on the opposite of that, allowing yourself to feel the sadness, the disappointment, the rejection, the abandonment, that is also very necessary because it's a sign as to what it is that you need to heal spiritually. But it's like you would rather just stay flat in a sense and not go too much this way or too much that way because just staying here is safe. And the reason why just staying neutral is safe is because you haven't felt like you could be emotionally provided for, like you can be emotionally safe, like you can be emotionally secure. So that's something that you're going to have to work on. You're going to have to work on becoming a safe space for yourself. And one of the things that's going to look like is, like I said, on a daily basis, paying attention to your self-talk. What are you saying about yourself? How are you speaking about yourself? What are you saying to yourself when you make a mistake, like dropping the cup or running late to work or all of those things? You got to ask yourself, what are you saying to yourself? Because if you're speaking negatively about yourself, then you are not being safe with you. And if you're not being safe with you, then you can't be safe. You won't feel safe with anybody else. So you have to create that for yourself first. Secondly, I need you to get out of your head and really get into your body. That's another reason why the star card is so important in this reading, because first of all, she's naked, which absolutely symbolizes vulnerability, right? She's naked, but she has the water and she has the earth. So we're talking about the physical body and the emotional body. Water symbolizes the emotional body. Earth, all of this greenery, symbolizes the physical body. And you have to pour into both of those. Something that I want you to do, sis, I need you to start doing some form of yoga. It could be just regular yoga that you just find on YouTube. Maybe you're already doing yoga, but I feel like if I'm telling you it, maybe you've done it in the past and you need to get back started, or maybe you are kind of infrequent and you're doing it now, but I need you to get into some yoga. And the reason why I want you to get into some yoga, sis, is because you have to become emotionally flexible. You have to become emotionally flexible. And yoga, whenever you get your body, first of all, you have to know that within our bodies, we store all of these different emotions. We store all of our traumas, all of our disappointments. We store them in different parts of our bodies. So when you get into these yoga poses and you feeling all of these sensations and it's burning and it's sometimes painful and you're feeling all of these sensations, what you're actually doing is releasing trapped emotions. Okay? You're actually releasing trapped emotions. And so I need you to get into that. I need you to start doing some yoga. One of my favorite girls to do yoga with, her name is Sarah Beth. She is a white girl on here on YouTube, and she's good. She has all of these different yoga flows that always have supported me in getting into spirit. But it doesn't matter what type of yoga you do. It doesn't matter who you follow. It can be Sarah Beth. It can be yoga with Adrienne. It can be some of these Black girls who do comedic yoga. I don't care who you do the yoga with, but I need you to do some form of yoga because you need to get into your body. You need to feel those feelings. What I'm hearing spiritually is that you are a very thoughtful woman, right? You're very analytical. You know how to get shit done. You know how to get to your goals. You know how to be successful in that realm. But sitting with your emotions is a challenge for you. And so when we do yoga and we do these different poses, we are really forced to feel not just our bodies, but feel the emotion that these different movements really elicits and draws out of us, right? So I need you to really get into some yoga. And it's funny because one of the other cards that came up is Divine Destiny. And it says, Path of the Divine Warrior. And a yoga pose that I guarantee you that you are going to end up doing is warrior pose, right? In yoga, they have warrior 1, warrior 2, warrior 3. They have all of these different warrior poses, which symbolize strength. And you're going to need that. You need strength. You need to be able to fight for yourself because best believe your ego and that part of you that struggles to trust, that part of you that is like, nobody can take care of me. Nobody can love me. Nobody can be emotionally supportive. That egoic part of you, it don't want to go. It don't want to go. It want to keep on controlling your life. It wants to keep on making you have this shield, right? This shield that you've been holding on to because you've been trying to persevere, right? It wants to have you keep that up and stay and continue self-sabotaging yourself. And so you're going to have to go to war with you. Okay. And that's going to start with just being open, being vulnerable, and becoming that divine warrior goddess and fighting for what it is that you want. Fighting for your desires, fighting for your love, fighting for greater abundance, fighting for divine union, fighting for your partnerships. Something else that you need to do that is going to support you in this time, card that came out, Ancient Power Mysteries. Hear the rattle of Isis playing. And what this is talking about is that a lot of your downloads and your channels right now are going to come through in the form of music, mantras, motivational speeches, and then listening to different hertz, right? Listening to different frequencies. So I want you to start listening to high vibrational frequencies, right? I want you to start listening to some of those heart chakra tones. I want you to start listening to some of those root chakra tones, because the root chakra, again, we see here with the earth, with the star card, with the earth, we're talking about you feeling safe and knowing that you belong here right now. You belong here right now. And so you have to know that all of the financial things, that's going to work itself out. You are brilliant. You are beautiful, and you have a powerful mind. You can figure all of that stuff out, but you have to know that you are emotionally safe. And so listening to some of those heart chakra sounds is going to really help with reprogramming your being, reprogramming your insides, and really letting you know that you can, experience your emotions and it doesn't have to destroy you. You don't have to feel like if you are feeling emotional, that it's just going to be the end, okay? If you start to feel that love, if you start to feel that nervousness because you met somebody that you like, that it's like, oh, this is scary. No, sis, you're safe. Even with the people who are in your family, I need you to know that you're safe, okay? There is nothing that anyone can use against you to cause you harm unless you allow them to. It doesn't matter your past. It doesn't matter what mistakes you made. Only way people can use things against you is if you haven't made peace with who you are and who you've been. And so make peace with yourself. Know that you are worth waiting for. I know in the past, you've probably given yourself to somebody who was unworthy of your trust, who was unworthy of your love. And you felt like, like you made a mistake, like you were tripping, like you were dumb, or like you were, just naive and all of those things. Now, I just want you to know that those experiences was a part of your destiny, was a part of your divine path for you to grow, for you to expand, and for you to become the woman that you are today. So forgive yourself for those moments and know that right now in this moment, you can move from a space of love, from a space of safety, and from a space of security that comes from inside of you and not from anybody else outside of you. Nobody has to validate your ability to love. Nobody has to validate your ability to trust. You do that for yourself by how you treat yourself. And when you listen to your intuition, when you listen to your inner guidance, you are going to know who it is you're supposed to be relating with. But the reason why you struggle with trust is because you don't trust yourself. And the reason why you don't trust yourself is because you haven't forgiven yourself. And so one of the songs I need you to listen to is I Forgive and I Release. I Forgive and I Release. It is by let me get her name. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. Shoot, I'm gonna have to find the girl's name. Matter of fact, what I'm gonna do for you, I'm going to I'm gonna put the link to the girl's thing in the email with this video, and all you'll have to do is just click on it and you'll be able to listen to it then. Okay. So yeah, I forgive myself and I release. You have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself, sis. Through your forgiveness, you'll be able to start to trust yourself again. Understand that your higher self is still talking to you. Your higher self is always, coming through and letting you know that it is with you. And your ancestors are with you and your spirit guides are with you and they love you and they want you to know you can come out and play. You can come out and play. There's nothing that you can do that is going to disappoint or let down your higher self, okay? Everything is a learning experience. Everything is teaching you and guiding you on how to be better, right? How to connect with your divine sacred self. So you have to remember that anytime you feel yourself talking negatively to yourself, that's one of those moments where your higher self is like, stop, come back, come off the deep end, come back and start to think thoughts that actually serve your highest good. Start to think thoughts that actually align with who you want to be. I need you to listen to that song, I Forgive Myself and I Release. I need you to listen to the song I Choose by Athalia Reading. You need to listen to these songs continuously, right? Because they're going to reprogram your body. You are in a space right now where you really just have to reprogram your body. Okay? You really have to reprogram your body because it's your body that makes you feel unsafe to trust, right? You get in these relationships or you build these friendships and you start feeling like, okay, I kind of like this person, but then your body sends off all of these warning signs that make you like, oh shit, I don't know, I feel weird, I don't know if I can do that. And it's not true, sis. These are just emotional habits that you are caught up on. And so your spirit, your higher self is asking you to overcome that, to take that leap of faith, right? To understand, yes, stability and security does equal, is worthy of trust, but emotional security is actually what you're looking for. And so you have to stop blocking yourself off based off of who a person is or what a person has, And you just have to start honoring yourself more, honoring yourself, not for your possessions, not for your materials, not for any of those things, but honoring yourself just for being who you are. Honoring yourself just for being who you are. Who you are, if you had absolutely nothing, is worthy of praise, is worthy of love, is worthy of goodness. So a part of your spiritual work right now, Athalia, is one, you need to start with, I know you already do this, you already treat yourself like a queen, right? But I want you to be more gentle with yourself. Okay, you already treat yourself like a queen. And if you haven't been treating yourself like a queen, I'm telling you, the time to start is now. And the way you treat yourself like a queen is by making sure you are communicating with yourself from a healthy, holistic perspective. And if you're saying things to yourself that don't feel good, that is not of love, if you're saying things to yourself that you wouldn't want to say to your kids or anybody else's kids, you shouldn't be saying it to yourself. So that's one. And that's how you're going to develop more trust and more love for yourself, right? More emotional security. You have to become an emotional safe space for yourself first, okay? Forgive yourself for those failures. Forgive yourself for those fuck ups. All of those things are just pushing you forward. All of those things were just helping you to come to the point that you are at right now, which is a queen ready to sit on her throne and have that divine counterpart, right? I see you, sis, as being, I'm looking, something just popped up on my computer. It says, hey, future millionaire. Yes, that is you. You are worthy of that, Athalia. Your whole name just screams royalty, but you don't have to, sis. I know you royal and you got to protect the kingdom, but sis, you don't have to keep fighting. You can be soft, you can be feminine, you can be loved, you can be cared for. But you got to do that for yourself first. So listen to those high vibrational frequencies. Listen to that song, I Forgive and I Release. Listen to I Choose by Athalia Reading. Really meditate on those things. And then I need you to do yoga. I need you to develop a yoga practice, because you have to unlock some of these emotions that are stored within your body that you haven't processed, so that you can set it free, so that you can align with your love and so that you can align with your power. All right. That's my message for you today, sis. I hope that it resonates. Let me know in the email how this message connects with you, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Peace.